Welcome to your first video lesson, Introduction to Integers. For this lesson, make sure that you have the notes you were given in class. This should be in your notes section and labeled TOC number 1. You will also need a pencil or pen to take notes and a highlighter, marker, or colored pencil, anything that you have that's colored so that you can highlight keywords as we go through the lesson. Our learning target for this video is to be able to identify and represent integers and to be able to compare and order integers on a number line or when given a situation. Some vocabulary that you need to know. The word integer simply refers to a set of whole numbers and their opposites. And it's important that you underline whole numbers because that means we're only talking about the whole numbers like 1, 2, and 3, and their opposites like -1, -2, and -3. There's no fractions or decimals in this unit. Positive integers are numbers that are greater than 0. You've been working with these since kindergarten. It is located, all of these numbers are located to the right of 0 on the number line. Negative integers are the opposite. Those are numbers that are located that are less than 0, and they're located on the left of 0 on the number line. So less and left, it's easy to remember because they both start with L. Opposite integers are just two numbers that are an equal distance from 0 on the number line. And absolute value is the last vocabulary term we're going to talk about. We're not going to learn about this today, but it's something just to keep in mind. That refers to the distance from 0 on the number line, and it is always, please underline always, positive. At the bottom of your first page of notes, you'll notice this diagram that we're going to fill in. It says you can show an integer is positive by writing a positive sign in front of it, which is a plus sign, or an integer other than 0 that does not have a sign. It is assumed to be positive. You can show that an integer is negative by writing a negative sign in front of it, and that looks like a subtraction sign. One thing I want you to note and write in the box is that 0 is neither positive nor negative. It is like the referee that stands in the middle of the game, and it doesn't take sides either way. Positive numbers are those numbers greater or bigger than 0, and remember they're always on the right-hand side. If you have green, something green, you can put a big plus sign there, or you can highlight it and just make sure you associate that positive is greater or bigger than 0. Negative numbers are less than 0, and they're always on the left. I like to make them red to remember that they're not always a good thing, because you don't want to have a negative number in your bank account because that means you owe the bank money. Introduction to integers. So here's some key words that I need you to focus on. You will need your highlighter or colored pencils for this. We're going to read these situations. We've already broken them down to negative and positive for you, but we're going to highlight the key words and then identify the integer for that situation. For negative side, we'll do that side first. It says 6 feet below sea level. The key word there that we want is below. And since it says it's 6 feet below sea level, then we are going to write a -6. A drop or loss of 3 degrees, the key words there are drop or loss. That means it's going down, so it's not going to be a good thing, and that is -3. I owe $4 to the cafeteria means I overspent my account, so now I owe them money. That's not a good thing. Owe is your key word. Please circle or highlight it. And so my integer there would be -4. On the positive side, let's look for words that would mean that it's going up or it's a good thing. The temperature rose 7 degrees. Our key word there is rose, and I've highlighted that in green to show it's a positive thing. And so my number would be positive 7. Notice there I did not put the plus sign because when we write our whole numbers that are positive, we don't have to have that plus sign. 500 feet above sea level. Above is our key word, meaning going up. And so our integer would be positive 500 or just 500. A gain of 16 yards in football. If we gain it, that's good. We want that. So that is a positive term, gain, and our number would be positive 16. Last little bit that we're going to tackle today is these practice problems, but before we dive into the practice, I want you to write down a little note off to the right, the picture of the ocean, and I put that there because sea level is 0. When you see the word sea level, that's always referring to 0, and that may be a reference point for you in the future. For number 1, the first statement says, I withdraw $10 from the ATM. If I take money out of the ATM, that's coming out of my bank account, so the money in my bank account is going down. So withdraw is my key word, and my integer would be a negative 10. If I lose $30, loss is your key word, and my integer would be negative 30. 1,820 feet above sea level, this is just like the example above. Above is your key word because it's on top of sea level, so it's going up, which is a positive number, so it would be positive 1,820, should say 20, not 24. Sorry about that mistake. Number 4, a 14-foot drop. Well, if I'm dropping, it's going down, so that would be a negative 14. Sea level, we just said, is a key word. Sea level represents 0. 0 I put in black because it's neither positive nor negative. It's that middle of the road guy. He's the referee. The last one, I deposit $150 in my bank account. If I'm putting money into my bank account goes up, which is a positive. So deposit means a positive integer, so my integer would be 150. The bottom part is talking about comparing and ordering. Once we do some more practice with integers, we'll come back and finish that little bit of the notes later in the week. So just hold on, put the notes back into your binder, and now it's time for you to show what you know or show what you've learned. You're going to log into OneNote, click on the link that's provided, and take the short quiz to show what you know.